Most people don't give up because they're broken. They give up because they get comfortable. They quit when they're tired. They quit when they're bored. But here's the reality. Success doesn't care how you feel. It only responds to one thing: whether or not you show up. When your mind yells stop, that's the moment you force yourself to move. That's the spark where transformation starts. In just a short while, you'll discover how to break past resistance, crush your excuses, and train your mind to become relentless. If you're tired of starting over, it's time to learn how to finish. Learn. The choice to keep moving. You're standing at a life-defining crossroad. In front of you are two paths. One returns you to comfort, safety, and everything you've ever known. The other pulls you toward the unknown, toward dreams still unlived, goals still unreached, and a version of you not yet born. I get it. It's tempting to turn back. The road behind feels familiar. It's lined with people who say, stay safe. Don't risk it, they'll warn. Be realistic. Play it safe. But growth doesn't live there. Growth lives ahead. The road filled with obstacles, lessons, and sometimes pain, but also progress, potential, and greatness. Every icon you admire once stood where you are now. They weren't fearless. They weren't certain. They were simply willing. Willing to risk defeat, to walk alone, to press forward in spite of fear. Lincoln's path wasn't a straight line to greatness. It was filled with failure in business, elections, and life. He lost jobs, lost loved ones, lost elections. Again and again he heard no, but he never let failure define him. He kept going. That single decision shaped the destiny of a nation. And Lincoln's not the exception. Behind every success story is a mountain of struggle. Writers whose books were rejected countless times. Entrepreneurs who went broke before building empires. Athletes who trained in silence before anyone knew their names. What makes them different isn't luck or genius. It's choice. The choice to keep moving. That's the decision you must make today. Decide that no matter how tough it gets, you won't give in. That even when your mind begs you to stop, you'll keep moving forward. Because the path ahead, though uncertain, is where your future lives. You don't grow by avoiding heat. You grow by walking through fire. You build strength by facing discomfort, embracing failure, rising after every fall. Pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It tears down the weak parts and awakens your inner power. This is your moment. This is where the change begins. Not in comfort, but in challenge. Not in safety, but in struggle. Choose now. Choose to stop playing small. Choose to believe you're worth more, that your dreams matter, that your goals aren't too big, that you are not too broken. The world doesn't need more people hiding. It needs more people rising. Right now, you have a chance to rise, to act in spite of fear, to leave behind a life that limits you and step into one that demands more, but gives so much more back. So take the step, even if you're scared, even if your voice shakes, even if no one else believes yet. Take the step, because this moment is when everything shifts. To keep going, to move forward, you must define your purpose with clarity. Not vaguely, not someday, not maybe. Clear, deep, unshakable. That purpose becomes the fuel for your journey. It powers you when everything feels heavy. When the world says stop, purpose whispers go. Without it, even small hurdles feel massive. But with purpose burning in you, you can face fire and grow stronger. Purpose transforms pain into progress. It gives meaning to the hard moments. It turns struggle into strength. Without a clear why, the journey crushes you. With it, the same journey builds you. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't march, speak, and endure hate because it was easy. He did it because he knew what he stood for. He knew where he was going. His dream of equality wasn't just a hope, it was a mission. Every speech, every step was guided by absolute clarity of purpose. That clarity moved millions. It ignited fire in others because purpose is contagious. When someone walks in truth, the world pays attention. They listen, they follow. That same fire lives in you, but you must first uncover it. Ask yourself, what fuels my passion? What problem burns in my soul to solve? What legacy do I want to leave? What change do I want to make? Let the answers be honest. Let them be real. Don't settle for vague goals or borrowed dreams. Be honest. Be precise. And once you find your answer, write it down. Not just once. Not just in your thoughts. Put it in writing, on your wall, inside your journal, anywhere you'll see it regularly. Read it when you're drained. Repeat it when fear creeps in. Return to it when doubt starts whispering. Purpose isn't a one-time flash. It's a fire you must keep burning. When the path gets tough, purpose will keep you going. When you feel like quitting, purpose will remind you why you began. It becomes your guide when you're lost, your anchor in the storm, your shield when life fights back. This isn't about hype. Hype fades. Purpose lasts. Hype is loud and brief. Purpose is quiet and lasting. Define it, feed it, protect it. Your purpose isn't just words, it's your guiding light. It's what gives your story meaning. It's why you were given this journey. It won't be found in ease. It's born in the moments when everything feels uncertain, but you keep moving forward. You carry greatness within, but it won't show itself until your purpose is clear. Only then will your steps gain weight. Only then will your actions connect to your destiny. The world doesn't need more people just surviving. It needs people who burn with clarity, people who know why they rise, why they push, why they won't quit. So ask real questions, search deep, discover your truth, and once you do, never release it. Let your purpose drive you forward every day, step by step, until the dream life becomes your real life. Set solid goals and checkpoints. Goals give your dreams shape. Without them, even the biggest vision fades under life's distractions. A dream with no direction is like a ship with no map, adrift, lost, forgotten. But when you define specific, tangible goals, your dream gains structure, backbone and momentum. You begin to turn ideas into results. Goals aren't just hopeful words, they're commitments to yourself. They are your vow not to gamble with your future, not to sit still and wish. You will move, you will build, you will rise. History shows us what's possible when vision meets precision. The moon landing wasn't one big jump. It started as a dream, then became real through detailed steps. Each equation, each trial, each launch, a goal. And together, those goals built the bridge from Earth to moon. That same potential lives in you. Start now, not later. Not when things feel perfect. Right now, write your goals, not in your head, on paper, on the wall, in your notebook. Make them visible, make them real. Don't settle for vague dreams or distant hopes. Be clear on what you want, when you want it, and why it matters. Your goals should stretch you, drive you, and tie back to your purpose. With clear focus, the path reveals itself. You move with intent. Break your vision into steps, clear markers that keep you steady and aligned. Each step forward builds belief in yourself. You begin to see that progress is real. It's happening, decision by decision, day by day. Every small win counts. Celebrate it. Let it prove that you're not stuck. You're advancing, you're evolving. That's how real change happens, not in jumps, but in steps. Not in chaos, but in direction. When your goals are solid, your behavior aligns. You stop drifting, you start constructing, you stop reacting, you start soaring. There will be days when the dream feels far, when the load feels too heavy. That's when goals carry you. They pull you back in. They remind you where you began. They give you something steady to lean on. This isn't about being flawless. It's about staying loyal. It's about showing up every single day, step after step, until your life starts to mirror your vision. Dream boldly, always, but ground that dream with consistent effort. Begin small, stay relentless, never back down, because when goals direct your path, your dream stops being a wish. It becomes a destination, and every goal you pursue, every milestone you hit, every move you make, breathes life into that dream. So don't wait. Choose one target, one task, one move, and take the first step that brings your vision into reality. 4. Stay relentless. Even through judgment, there comes a point in every mission, in every bold dream, when the voices of others begin to rise. Some whisper caution, others scream disbelief. Their tones may differ, but the message stays the same. Doubt, and often that doubt doesn't stem from hatred. It comes from fear of risk, of the unknown, of going against the norm. Yet this unfamiliar road is exactly what leads to greatness. Here's the truth. Criticism and skepticism can crush even fierce dreams, but only if you let them. Galileo Galilei, the father of modern science, dared to challenge the beliefs of his era. He peered through a telescope and uncovered a cosmos that defied the idea of Earth as its center. His discoveries rattled the core of established truth. For this, he was condemned, silenced, cast aside by those too afraid to see beyond what they knew. And yet his vision survived, across centuries. His name shines bright, while the voices that tried to bury him have long vanished into silence. Einstein faced this too. Fierce opposition. His theories reshaped reality. bent physics, and broke the ceiling of conventional thought. He was mocked before he was praised, yet he stood tall. He trusted his insight more than the noise of the masses. And today, history honors not those who laughed, but the man whose brilliance changed the world forever. From these stories, we learn a powerful truth. The judgment of others reflects their own limits, not your ability. When people question your path, it's often because they can't envision what you can. Their minds are boxed in by past patterns. Yours dares to reach beyond. If you trade your dream for their doubt, you give up infinite hope for a confined fear. So build the wisdom to spot the difference between helpful feedback and harmful noise. One sharpens you, the other weakens your spirit. Embrace the former, let it polish your skill, let it build your grit, reveal your blind spots. But the rest? Let it pass. Sweep it away like smoke in the wind, for it's not meant to lift you, but to stop you. Standing firm through criticism is a true act of bravery. It's easy to shine when the crowd claps, but to walk when they mock, to build while they sneer, to believe when they scoff. That's the power of perseverance. That's what defines a visionary. Let their doubt be the background to your grit. Let their disbelief fuel your energy. In time, your results will speak louder than their resistance. Your growth will respond where words failed. Your success will echo your strength. Know this. No real change ever came easy. No idea that reshaped the world went unopposed. Progress doesn't arrive through applause. It arrives because someone kept going despite rejection. You must be that someone. Hold tight to your dream. Carry it not like a fragile wish, but a sacred flame. Shield it from the chill of doubt and feed it with fierce belief. Because one day, those who doubted you won't recall why, but the world will remember you, the one who stayed grounded, the one who never broke, the one who turned every obstacle into admiration. That is your strength, and it's louder than any critic could ever shout. Keep evolving and growing in your pursuit of success. Maybe you pictured the journey as a straight path, simple, smooth, and easy to navigate. But life rarely works that way. It winds, it shifts, and it drops challenges right where you didn't see them coming. And in those times, life doesn't reward those who stay stuck. It honors those who adjust. Adaptability isn't optional, it's vital. It's what allows you to rise when others stumble. When economies change, when blueprints crumble, when dynamics shift, you must shift too. What got you here may not take you further, so ask yourself honestly, will you evolve or fall behind? Dwight D. Eisenhower, 34th President of the United States, knew this well. He wasn't only a general during wartime, he was a master strategist who valued flexibility over force. During his presidency, he faced a turbulent era: Cold War tension, nuclear threats, civil unrest, economic changes. Rather than leaning solely on power or party lines, he led with balance and foresight. He built the interstate highway system, not just for transport, but as national defense. He grew Social Security and held on to New Deal programs while still managing federal spending. A tightrope walk between progress and stability. When McCarthyism surged, he handled it tactfully, defending democracy without deepening the divide. Eisenhower's genius wasn't rigidity, it was the skill to mold policy to the moment and respond to a changing America. That's how you must move. Fluid, smart, unshaken by pressure. Be open to discarding the old and embracing the new. Keep learning. Widen your skills. Don't stay tied to habits that no longer serve. When a plan crumbles, don't see failure, see direction. Let it point you to a better path. Let your principles ground you, but keep your approach nimble. Charging into walls doesn't prove strength. Finding the door does. True strength is learning when to shift, when to adapt, and when to take a different route. Many confuse being stubborn with being strong. They wear inflexibility like a crown, but you know better. You know that adapting isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It says, I'm not here to worship tradition. I'm here to deliver results. I'm loyal to the mission, not the method. So remain locked in, but stay flexible. Life's weather will change. New waves will rise. Let your sails respond. Let your thinking grow, because life won't wait for you to catch up. It keeps moving forward, and you must decide whether to move with it or be left behind. Don't run from change. Welcome it. Walk boldly into the unknown. Know that your power lies in your ability to adapt. That's what will set you apart from the rest. In a world that never stays the same, survival isn't about being the toughest. It's about being the most adaptable. If you master this, you won't just make it, you'll lead the way. Life won't break you. You'll become the one who turns storms into stepping stones. 6. Build unshakable belief in yourself. Self-belief is the base of every success. Without it, every move forward feels unsure. Every challenge feels bigger than it is. Without it, doubt creeps in and stalls progress. Potential turns into regret. But with belief, you become solid. You walk with purpose, you speak with certainty, you act without delay. Obstacles still show up, but they no longer crush you, they build you. Muhammad Ali once shouted, "I am the greatest." To some, it sounded like pride. But those who understood saw truth. They saw power. They saw a man who believed in his greatness long before the world ever saw it. He wasn't born a legend. He became one because he believed he could. That belief became his shield in the ring and his strength outside of it. Through every challenge, every defeat, every trial, his self-belief stood firm. You must grow the same. True confidence isn't fleeting or superficial. It's a profound, steadfast belief in your identity and potential. This conviction starts with your self-talk, as your mind absorbs every word you utter about yourself. Speak fear, and it will flourish. Speak strength, and it will ascend. Therefore, consistently and persistently affirm your power. Remind yourself daily, I am capable, I am worthy, I grow stronger each day. This isn't make-believe, it's a process of becoming. Repetition engraves reality, and the more you affirm your value, the more your mind embraces it. But don't stop there. Validate it through action. Reflect on your past. Consider the tempests you've weathered, the instances you felt shattered yet persevered, the moments you doubted survival, yet here you stand. Each triumph, no matter how minor, is evidence, proof of your resilience and strength. Collect these memories, let them form the bedrock of your confidence. Carry this belief into your demeanor. Stand upright, shoulders squared, gaze steady. Speak with authority, act as though success is already yours. When you embody belief, the world responds in kind. Doors open, opportunities emerge, not due to luck, but because self-belief reshapes reality. Quote investigator, "You're not seeking validation or permission, you're asserting what's inherently yours." Every icon you admire began here, not with applause or innate talent alone, but with belief. Quiet, consistent, unyielding. This isn't arrogance or illusion, it's truth proclaimed before it's seen. Expect doubt and setbacks, but let your belief remain unwavering, not because you're flawless, but because you're relentless. Train your mind, nourish it with strength, deprive it of doubt. Surround yourself with affirmations, individuals, and actions that reinforce your evolving self. Speak your victories into existence. When fear surfaces, confront it with the fire of conviction. The world cannot deter someone who refuses to surrender, someone who believes so profoundly in their purpose, potential, and power that nothing can shake them. Be that individual, cultivate that belief, and observe as the world aligns to meet you. Embrace resilience. Life has a way of challenging every fibre of our being, often without warning. It's not the path of least resistance that shapes our destiny, but the inner strength we summon in our darkest moments. This strength is resilience, the unseen force that lifts us when the world expects us to remain down, the quiet determination that urges us to try again when failure demands we quit. Due history offers abundant examples, none more illustrative than Thomas Edison. Imagine conducting thousands of experiments, each seemingly futile. The world scoffed, critics jeered, friends offered well-meaning advice to abandon the quest. Yet, Edison remained steadfast, viewing each unsuccessful attempt not as failure but as education. He famously remarked, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." These weren't empty words, but the rallying cries of a man who understood that every setback was a disguised step forward. Edison's approach wasn't mere stubbornness, it was a philosophy of resilience. He didn't curse the darkness, he pursued the light. He didn't resent the struggle, he embraced it as the crucible where greatness is forged. This is the lesson life offers through such figures, to perceive obstacles not as barriers but as essential thresholds. Challenges aren't punishments, they're preparations. Each trial, disappointment, and moment of despair shapes us, chiseling away the superfluous to reveal the warrior within. So, when you feel weary, when your dreams seem distant, and the weight of the world bears down on you, pause. Remember that resilience isn't just enduring, It's transforming adversity into the foundation of your strength. Do not retreat in the face of adversity. Instead, recognize that pain is not the conclusion but the catalyst for your growth. The mind's fortitude, the spirit's resilience, and the heart's bravery are all forged through challenges. Your abilities are honed not during times of comfort, but within the crucible of hardship. Wisdom is not merely bestowed in moments of happiness, it is earned through the soul's struggle with trials. Anticipate resistance, and more importantly, value it, for it is resistance that cultivates resilience. Through each fall, we learn the art of rising, and by rising repeatedly, we become indomitable. Remember, resilience does not demand perfection. It does not require an unblemished journey or a history free from defeats. Rather, it calls for the courage to stand up every time you stumble. It involves choosing hope over despair, effort over indifference, and faith over fear. The resilient individual does not wait for life to become easy. They grow stronger precisely because it is challenging. So let the world test you. Let it present whatever obstacles it may. With each resurgence from adversity, you emerge not the same, but wiser, stronger, and more prepared. That is the essence. Every setback is a setup for your next triumph. Rise repeatedly until rising becomes second nature, and nothing, not even life itself, can keep you down for long. 8. Master your mindset. Your mindset shapes your future. This is not merely a motivational phrase, it is a fundamental truth of life. Every thought you nurture, every belief you hold, and every perspective you adopt becomes the lens through which you view the world and ultimately the map you follow. If that lens is clouded with negativity, doubt, and limitation, then every opportunity will appear as a threat, and every setback will feel like the end. But if that lens is polished with optimism, resilience, and a belief in growth, then even the darkest paths begin to reveal light. Imagine your mind as a garden where your thoughts are the seeds. The mindset you cultivate, positive or negative, is the soil in which those seeds grow. You cannot expect roses to bloom in soil filled with bitterness and fear, but plant seeds of courage, gratitude, determination, and hope in rich, fertile soil, and the flowers of your future will blossom with beauty and strength. You hold the power to choose which seeds to plant. This power lies in your ability to choose your thoughts. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are the gardener. You decide what grows in the field of your life. It begins with awareness. Catch yourself when negative self-talk creeps in. Phrases like, "I can't do this," "this always happens to me," or "I'm not good enough" are not facts. They are patterns, habits of the mind. And like all habits, they can be broken. Every time you catch yourself planting a weed, uproot it, replace it with a seed of possibility. Start saying, "I can and I will." Say, "This challenge is my teacher." Say, "Even if I fall, I will rise stronger." With repetition, these thoughts become beliefs, and those beliefs become the architecture of your actions. Consider the lives of those who have achieved greatness. What sets them apart is not luck or an absence of hardship, it is the way they think. They have trained their minds to interpret struggle as growth, failure as feedback, and uncertainty as adventure. They have mastered their inner world so they can rise in the outer one. You must begin to do the same. Feed your mind with inspiration. Read the stories of those who endured and emerged stronger. Surround yourself with voices and environments that reflect who you want to become, not who you used to be. Speak to yourself with the same encouragement you would offer someone you love, because you are someone worthy of love and belief. Let your mind become your strongest ally, not your greatest saboteur. When the storms of life arrive, and they will, your mindset will decide whether you are washed away or whether you rise, drenched but undefeated. Success, after all, is not only about external achievement, it is first and foremost about internal mastery. This is the silent secret of all those who succeed over the long term. They do not just build businesses, families, or empires, they build inner fortresses. They cultivate stillness in chaos, clarity in confusion, and belief in the face of fear. Their lives are not perfect, but their perspective allows them to grow through what they go through. So take control of your mind today. Stop waiting for the world to change and begin by changing your thoughts. Instead of reacting, start creating. Stop wishing, start doing. Stop doubting, start believing. This kind of shift doesn't happen overnight, but with each day, every decision and every moment of awareness, you gain strength. You begin to take control of your life instead of simply drifting through it. And before long, your external world will start mirroring the inner strength you've quietly cultivated. When you master your mindset, you don't remove challenges, you reshape them. You transform barriers into bridges. You turn setbacks into setups for greater breakthroughs. You stop saying, "Why me?" and start declaring, "Watch me." Because a determined mind can break through any wall, and a focused heart can achieve what once felt unreachable. The soil of your future is fertile. What seeds will you plant today? Ideas without execution are meaningless. You can have the clearest vision, the most brilliant plan, or the most compelling dream, but if you never act, it all dissolves into nothing. The world doesn't reward dreamers who stay still. It rewards doers, those who rise each day, not just full of purpose, but full of motion. The real tragedy is not failing, it's never trying. It's the silence of stories never told, the stillness of songs never sung, the void where a business was never born. Dreams don't get destroyed by critics or fade with time. They're slowly buried under fear and delay. Remember, success belongs to the action takers, those who move forward despite fear, despite doubt, despite imperfect conditions. The first step isn't meant to be perfect. It might be messy, it might be tiny, but it's the only line that separates intention from progress. Your vision is only as strong as your courage to take that first step. You don't need to see the whole path. Just take the first stride. You don't need all the answers before you begin. Use what you've got. Do what you can. Start right now, because once you begin, momentum follows. And momentum is more powerful than motivation. Action creates more action. Motion fuels momentum. One step leads to the next, and suddenly the way forward starts to unfold. Action builds belief. Each task you finish, no matter how small, tells your brain you are capable. You condition your spirit to push through resistance. You prove to fear that it's not the one in charge. Each move you make lays another brick in the foundation of your success. And with continued action, you grow, not because life gets easier, but because you get tougher. It's not the occasional flash of effort that changes your life. It's the consistent, intentional work you bring every day. True greatness isn't loud. It's tucked inside the quiet, relentless pursuit of a purpose, one step at a time. Your habits, so choose to act. Stop waiting for perfection. It's a myth. Conditions will never be flawless. Time won't stop to make you feel fully ready. But readiness isn't necessary. Commitment is, boldness is, belief is. These are the engines of action. Your success begins not when others believe in you, but when you believe in yourself enough to move, and it strengthens with every step you take. If you'll get up, if you fail, grow. If you hesitate, move anyway. Because nothing changes unless you change it. No dream comes alive without your breath behind it. Remember this, your future is shaped by what you choose to do now. Not later, not someday, now. The decisions you make, the actions you take today, create the life you'll live tomorrow. So take the leap, make the call, write the first line, start the project, begin the journey. And once you start, keep going, keep building, keep moving. Because in the end, your legacy isn't shaped by your ideas, but by the actions you had the courage to take. Thank you for being part of us. Do well to subscribe to our channel and share your view at the comment section.